Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily Tuesday training. It's Des here, just checking in after my daily activity today. Was hoping to get on whilst I was out and about walking with the dog, but his antics and the wind didn't really allow me to complete an episode. So I'm back at home, back in the warmth, whilst I enjoyed being out, trying to build on what I did yesterday, which was not very much in all honesty. Feeling really poorly, of course, from last week. Didn't get the opportunity to get out a great deal, but today I've definitely built on it, although again, not too much more. The dog walk along the river, it was fresh, it was cold, but it was great just to be out for 5 minutes, because if I'm really honest, today, it's kind of been one of those days. Busy at work, which is a given, that's okay. Really thriving on the job at the moment, lots of nice things happening there. But then a few frustrations, mainly traffic on the way home, and not feeling very good, almost feeling like I just got a little bit worse again. Probably trying to do a little bit too much too soon. Meant that I couldn't take part in a group activity session, a running session with the guys, and that's something I'm desperate to get back to. When I have a frustrating day, the best way I can get through it, is to get out, get in a run, get those endorphins flowing, and start feeling good about working towards my targets and goals and my training all over again. On a Tuesday, that's a real aim, but again, it's just not happened. Everything said, I've got to be cautious. I did feel really poorly last week. It really knocked me for 6. So I've just got to be careful, be realistic. And tomorrow presents another opportunity, doesn't it? Wednesday workout, of course. Hopefully I can get something in. But if I don't, I've just got to keep persevering, keep being positive. If you watched Monday Motivation yesterday, I was really positive about starting to feel better. So I've got to try and maintain that amongst all the frustrations and just keep working at it the best I can. And short walks, they help. Like I say, the 5 minutes, a little bit longer in all honesty, but short walk I had today, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it was, it just helped me process my thoughts, clear my mind, come to terms with how it is. If I was stuck at home and not doing very much at all and really sort of cooped up, I'd be probably beating myself up a little bit more. So just found the positives in being able to get out and just get some activity in. Whilst I didn't take part in the group session a little earlier, I was involved, I was coaching, kind of, passing across the messages I wanted to the guys and sort of instructing them what they could do, so that's always a good feeling. I love the coaching side of what I do, so again I can sort of be inspired by what they're doing and realise that it won't be too long before I'm back at it, and I'm putting in the effort I want to put in to get to where I want to be. And that's what it's about all the time, isn't it? Some days just don't quite work out, so today is kind of a message of hanging in there, whilst when things have stressed me out, I've started to feel the illness again. My body temperature was going up and down and I felt cold at times, and so I know I'm not quite over it. It's a case of looking after myself, looking after what I need to do, and again just doing things that I know are going to work. Of course, the accountability of the dog means most days I get out for a walk at least once, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day, but at least once a day to get him out. And that's something, of course, through DOdaily that I've always insisted on doing. Getting in my daily activity, working off these daily motivations to link them into exercise, well-being, and trying to be positive and enthusiastic about what we do. So whilst it hasn't exactly gone to plan, I can still find some positives in today. And busy is not always bad, is it? The work situation I mentioned there, really ticking along nicely with that. It's a newish job now. I'm not going to say it's brand new, but 1 or 2 nice things happening there. I actually received a letter over the weekend, a recognition. Somebody had volunteered me for making a difference at work, and that was really, really nice. It's another nice little confidence boost when I'd not been feeling great all week and feeling a bit uncomfortable with the fact I'm ill and I'm in a new job and I'm kind of, twitching about, and I left early a couple of days because I was ill and things like that, and just things that sometimes sort of add to our insecurities when we're not feeling great. And then to get a nice letter at the end of it, and somebody had thought I'd done a good job somewhere, that was absolutely fantastic. So can't complain about that, can't complain about the business. It's a challenge, it's a task, but again, I'm thriving on it. It's really sort of one of the plus points right now. So I've got to keep working. The illness will rectify itself. It's a short-term thing, hopefully, and then I can really get back at it and do all the things that make me tick day in, day out. And I think we have to remember that sometimes. I think that's the message in what I'm going to say today, is just we have to remember that things don't always go to plan, do they? I do this to encourage people who might sometimes be feeling it, might need a different set of ears and eyes, and on situations and a different perspective. Just to see that we can deal with some of these things that are thrown at us sometimes, and we need not let them manifest into something much bigger and much worse than what they are. I can't run today, it's not the end of the world. It does work for me, it does get me to a better place, but there's things I can do. Getting out for a walk, the dog loved it, watching him meant I loved it. He was running around in circles up and down the river as he usually is, and that gave me so much to take something from. I mentioned those nice situations at work, I can take so much from that. And then also the inspiration from the guys taking part in their activity, wanting to be part of what I do. That's an amazing feeling. So there's still so much, out of every day we can take a positive from. There's things that are sensitized, sense testers, but we need not let them take over. It's so important to remember that whatever anybody else is doing is up to them. Whatever's beyond our control, is exactly that. It's beyond our control. We can do nothing about it. But things we can be positive about, things we can be determined to do well and right, and to find some self-improvement and development. That's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I've been looking at all sorts of ways, to make big decisions in the way I take things forward personally. Some of this sort of DOdaily kind of material and some of the coaching work I do, amongst other things, I've got to make things work for me. And again, walks out late, in the dark, in the cold, on my own, in the quiet, give me every opportunity to look for the answers, find solutions to one or two things that are floating around in my head. And then when you come back from it, another massive plus from whatever I've done today, because I'm not saying I found all the answers during a short walk, but I thought about it more, process things down, whether it's the short-term stuff in terms of what's happened today, or the things that I'm thinking about in general. These opportunities to get out, especially where I do it, I'm not discouraging anyone from where you might do it, but to get out, get in some activity, get in some Tuesday training, make the most of a bit of time. If it's because you need to be accountable, like me with a dog, so be it. That's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? But for whatever reason, you get out there, it definitely does the trick, especially if you're having a tricky day. A short walk around the block. I was encouraging somebody somewhere, I'm not going to say too much because of this is not about other people, but I was encouraging somebody who said that they've got no time, that they need to get a walk in, or something, just to take some time for themselves. And that's so important, isn't it? It's so important to make sure you look out for yourself, you make sure your mind's cleared of any negative feeling. You start creating that positivity, you start coming up with the solutions and the answers, and before you know it, you'll be absolutely fine again. I'm hoping, based on everything I've just said there, before I know it, I'll be absolutely fine. It won't be too long, fingers crossed, before I'm running again, before I'm feeling great about that and working towards my longer term targets and goals. But when we're not feeling good, the key to it all is just dealing with the short term, and that's what I've tried to do today. Think of the instant wins. You know, that nice situation with work. You know, the fact I'm out with the dog doing what I need to do. You know, the things that are happening now, because if we start thinking too long, you know, things get in the way. That's possibly where I was at yesterday. Although it was all positive stuff, it wasn't said for ingenuine reasons, and I genuinely believed that's where I was, and I could sort of keep moving forward from there. But today, it's about dealing with today. We move on tomorrow, we go again. You know, forget that Wednesday working. Yes, if I don't, you know, we move on to the next day. The daily motivations through DOdaily keep me sort of checked in all the time, give me reason to come on and say what I say. You know, hopefully you understand where I'm going with it. Hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully in the next few days I'll be back out and about. You know, I always love doing this whilst I'm roaming about out there. But for now, it's a case of just working hard at it and just doing it.